Hi, this is Jim Gibson with CableSupply.com, and today we're going to look at how to install cable or wire a Category 5 jack. And what you have here is the parts, and of course some things I want to talk to you about very quickly here. And this is a punch down tool, and it's really one of the best punch down tools you can get. It's a Fluke. Notice it says cut here. That's because you got to cut the cable once you punch it down on the jack. It has a blade that comes out. This is the non-cutting blade for a 110 punch down, and jacks these days are 110. So you're going to need this blade. Now shortly I'm going to show you what you really need if you're a homeowner or something like that and you're only going to do one jack. You really don't need all these tools. But if you're a professional, you really need a professional punch down tool. So we're just going to go through this a little bit here. Again, this blade, if you've noticed, has an edge on it that is sharp, that's used to punch down and cut the cable. The other side is kind of straight. So this is your cutting side. And of course it does say cut, so as you punch down you know what side to cut. It will not go in backwards, by the way. Also says cut on the blade. Here you have your high and low impact, and people have different preferences in there. Some people like high, some people like low. You can adjust it just by turning it. It only has two settings, even though it looks like it's analog, it's really digital. Just two settings, that's it. And then of course you have a blade release. And what is a blade release? Well, as you can see, there's a blade in there. It's a 66 block blade. We're not doing 66 today. If I wanted to change blades, I would drop that out. Did you see that? Let me show you again. Drop it in. See if it'll go in at an angle. There you go. It's in. Now we'll drop it out. There you go. And of course this is for a 66 block. It actually says 66 there, not 99. And you can change them out whenever you need it. Put them in. And there you go. This has a little cutting edge on it also. Cuts off the excess cable as you punch it down. We're not going to use it today, so it's going to go back into its safe harbor. And what we are going to use is the cut side of a 110. And again, you can only put it in one way. Notice it says cut. Cutting edge is right here. You can only put it in one way. If you try putting it so the cut end is on the opposite side, it just won't go in. It just won't work. So it only goes in one way. It helps you never to have the blade in the wrong way. So that's what you need. So this is excellent for professionals. When I first started in the industry, not actually in the industry, but when I first started my company back in the 80s, I didn't have one of these because I couldn't afford it. I had 4 kids, a mortgage, 2 car payments, and those kids ate a lot of food. So I borrowed my tools from a friend until I made enough money on the side, doing things on the weekends and nights, that I could afford to buy one of these. You need to get one though if you're a professional. And next is the actual professional scissors. We'll use them today. You don't have to have this. Wire cutters will work also, but usually professionals have these type of scissors. This is from Plenum tools, high-end scissors. Hardened steel, super sharp, not for, I mean, you can cut paper with it, but that's not its purpose. It's large here, so you can get that in your hand, and then what you do is you use your thumb right on this side here, and you can get a lot of cutting power. You can cut 25 pair cable with this. I've seen people actually cut pennies in half with this scissors. So this is high quality lineman tool. They use this in the phone companies when they're out there sitting on the corner. It looks like they have sometimes a little umbrella over their head, and a guy's out there working with cable. Most of the time he's using this. Most of the older IT guys use your scissors. It takes a little bit of talent, a little bit of getting used to it. Once you get used to it, man, you can go really quick with cutting cable, with stripping cable, things like that. Enough with all this, right? Now, if you're a homeowner, all you need is scissors and a punch down tool. In fact, this little punch down tool, it's only a few bucks, is probably all you need because you got strippers right there. You're still going to need scissors though, because you got to cut off some excess wire. Now I'm going to show you about the excess wires. But If you're a do-it-yourself and you're doing this at home, this is really all you need. Scissors and this little tool. It's just a couple bucks on our website. And it has a wire stripper in there, has a 110 punch down already. You can see it there. It does not cut. So what? When you punch down all the cables, you're done. You can trim up the cables with scissors. You don't need to spend hundreds of dollars just to have tools that you're only going to use once or twice. Professional, go with the professional tools. Don't be dumb and go with something like this showing up at an install. It'll take you forever, things like that. It's just not the way to go. Anyway, what we have here is Category 5E. And now as of this date, May 2015, Category 5E is still being used. There is no Category 5. I don't think I can even get Category 5. So 5E stands for enhanced. The categories go up. It's Cat 3, Cat 5E, Cat 6, Cat 7. I even heard that they're coming out with Cat 8. Maybe you're watching this and smiling because those advanced categories are already standards. Most people are using Cat 5E. If you're going to be in a building that you're going to be in for 4 or 5 years from now, Cat 5E is okay. If you're going to be in a building that's going to be there for years to come, I would go with Cat 6 or higher. And anyway, the higher category has the ability to pass more data. So Cat 5E, you can do fast Ethernet. That's pretty much the standard right now. When you get into gigabits, some people say Cat 5E can handle gigabit for short distances, under 100 feet, things like that. I don't have a problem with Cat 5E. I don't have a problem with Cat 6. If you're cabling for the future, go with Cat 6. Today we're going to talk about Cat 5E, and we're going to punch down a Cat5E jack, and I'm going to show you how that's done. But anyway, this is Cat 5E. It's this little scrap cable. Got a lot of scraps in the back. And I'm going to show you what you need to do to get this cable to where it needs to be punched down. So I also have a jack. These jacks are on our website, and a lot of people say, well, I need color code. No, you really don't need color code, and I'll show you the reason why. It's because right on the jack it gives you the color code. So, okay, going to take our handy dandy scissors. I'm going to score it, and you can score it anywhere you want here. Every once in a while I get emails saying, oh, you're wasting cable. Okay, so I'm wasting a little bit of cable. World won't come to an end. You pull this off, and you have your 4 pair. You grab this little string, and then you turn around and you nick it just a little bit away from the string, because these strings have a way to find your scissors, and then you end up cutting them off. But you put a little nick in the cable, as you can see a little nick, and then you rotate your string to that nick, and then you pull down maybe another inch or 2, and then you take your outside covering. And remember, you got 2 different types of outside covering, PVC and Plenum rated. Plenum, of course, being a special sealing that most commercial companies or most commercial tenants have. You just cut off this. PVC is a lot cheaper, inexpensive. I hate to use the word cheap. Well, there's some things out there that are cheap. Usually that implies that they fall apart. But you got a lot of cable here, and we're going to separate them. You can separate them any way you want, but they're always punched down a certain way. And I'm going to take my handy dandy little thing here, and I'm going to slide it on there, and then just rotate this, and it separates it. Cat 5E is not hard to separate. Cat 6 and 7, it gets a little harder. So I'm separating some of these cables. And even though I told you not to call them individual wires, you can. Normally, though, in the industry, it's pairs. You always have 4 pairs when it comes to computer cabling, sometimes also referred to as Ethernet cabling. And you want to keep the twist. When we punch it down, you're going to see we want to keep that twist as close as possible to the punch down. You don't have to go crazy on it, but yeah, you want to keep it as close as possible. And this really does, I mean, maybe you have some other way of doing it that works better, that's fine. There's nothing in law that says you have to do it a certain way when it comes on winding these. And here's our cable. And we sell this on our website. Comes in different colors. It's a Keystone jack. Keystone means it has a certain shape here. It's actually not a keystone shape, but you know, a real keystone in a arch is more of a triangle shape. But anyway, they call these keystones. And it's standard. Every jack that's called Keystone has the same outside diameter here. And the reason why is because these face plates all have the same diameter and they fit in there. But I get ahead of myself. Let's look at the jack. And for those who love to memorize color code, there it is, color code. Don't need it though. Now you got two standards. You got your T568A or your T568B. Now most people in the industry do B, but that's just you can just decide to do that. It can go in B or A, just as long as both ends of this cable, when you're installing it, is either an A or a B. Doesn't really matter. If you do A at one end and a B at the other, well, then what's happening is that's called a crossover cable, and it will not work unless you're going to have a computer at the other end rather than a network switch. So you want to run A or B, and if you've noticed on here, you see here, get my handy dandy special pointing tool called a pen. It says A, it says B. So you can see right here that going straight across, it will tell you what color to use for which standard. So T568A is right there, solid blue. T68A here would be green white, but if you're going to use B, it's going to be orange white. You line this up here, so we're going to use B. B is the bottom color right here on both sides, and so the first B is going to be orange and white and then solid orange. So it's going to be this pair. So what we want to do is we want to lay this in here, and then we're going to take our orange, solid orange, and we're going to push it into here. And then our white orange is going to go here. Now these colors are standard colors. And then we're going to look at our brown. So brown, white, and again, I'm just reading off here. I mean, I'm not thinking about pins or pinouts or any other thing in life. I'm just lining them up. Now I did, as I was saying, you know that old saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I'm an old dog, and my son taught me a new trick in cabling, and that is just wind these up here, and it keeps them in place until you punch them down. So that's pretty cool. So here we're going to do blue and blue-white. Blue is always your first pair, by the way. It's always known as the first pair. And then it goes like that. Goes like that. Stays there. And then I'm just following this color code right here. You see how easy it is? It's really easy. It isn't rocket science. Stay in there. And I'm going to do that new trick that I just learned to keep everything in there. I'm just going to tighten that as tight as I can so it doesn't come out until we're all punched down. Okay? So that's that. Now you have a choice. If you're a professional, you have these all the time. This is the easiest way to punch down. This is the tool you need to have. However, if you're a homeowner, it's going to take a little extra effort. We will use both so you can see how it's done. Now I'm going to introduce to you something that is really cool, because if you're putting in jacks all day, I'll tell you what, your hand gets tired. Sometimes these guys make a little cardboard thing so they can put this in here and they can punch down on cardboard. Because if you're punching down on carpet, the carpet gives too much. And if you're punching down using the wall, you can damage the wall and make little marks in the wall, and then you got an expense because you're going to have to pay for it. So you got these little pucks. Now, they take care of different types of jacks. If the outlet was on the back, you'd punch down this way. If it's this way, you would do it here. It fits different types of jacks, so it's pretty good. And then, and by the way, there's a SKU number on that. Very inexpensive, just a few bucks. And this one is kind of multi-purpose also, and this is from Plenum tools. I love Plenum tools. Anyway, neat thing about this is, again, you can punch down holding it, so you can take your tools and you can punch down with the jack here, or you can just lay it down and use it. It's a flexible rubber, and the nice thing about that is sometimes when you're pulling cable, you just can't get a good grip on it, and so this has a dual purpose. You can get a grip like that by squeezing this thing, and then it's pretty solid. You can pull really well without having it hurt your hands. Now you got to watch them pulling cable. You put too much pressure on that cable. You know, you pull too hard on that cable. It stretches that twist, and it takes the certification out of purpose. And it's really pretty cool. I mean, this is a really hard plastic. If you're punching down all day long, you're going to need this. But we're not doing that. We're just going to punch down this Cat5E cable. I'm going to take my trusty professional tool. We're going to do one with this, and we're going to show the other tool. So remember, you want the cutting edge, and you want it on the outside, on each outside. You do it the other way, man, you're going to be back to cable and the jack again. You're going to have to throw out the jack. Some people ask, well, can I just reuse the jack, pull the cable out and reuse it? No, don't do that. It may work today. After a while, it won't work. So you don't want to just pull the wires out and then just reuse the jack. Some customers don't understand that, but jacks are so inexpensive. Use new ones all the time, so you do a quality installation. Anyway, my cutting edge, if you can see, is right here. So that's going to go on the outside when I punch down. So I'm going to punch down. And yes, I did it twice. That's just habit. If it works once for you, that's fine. But notice the wire is off. So I'm going to continue punching down here with the cutting side. And that's punched down. And then I'm going to do two on the other side. Let's see if I can get it in such an angle that you can see me punch this down. Watch. That's not easy to do. I sure do like pushing it. And what's happening here is this little cutting blade, there's a little ridge right there that it's hitting, and it's supposed to hit. Now, so that's done. I punched down two. Now I'm going to show you the other one. And that is, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. It doesn't have a cutting side. And I'm just going to push it in. And then I'm going to have to take my scissors. And again, this is for homeowners. You know, you want to, if you're just doing one or two jacks, that's it. Yeah, get the little couple dollar tool. You don't need the big expensive one. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim it up. Ah, gosh, they're very dull, scissors. And there you go. That's what it looks like when you use the cheap one or two, throw it away, and that will actually work. That's fine. And they come with these little caps. You can push the cap right on. You hear it snap? I think it snapped. At any rate, since it's a Keystone jack, you can buy these face plates. They're all standardized. They come in different models. And you know, let's say you use 5 jacks on this one. Well, we got a blank that goes right in there, and it just looks nice and smooth. And then what you do is you slide this in. Notice it has a little ridge here. And there is an up and down on this, and of course there's an up right there, if you can see it. There it is. And you just slide this right in here, and then it snaps in place. Looks pretty good. Most people use blue for computer jacks. We sell probably 10 blue jacks to every 10, probably 100 blue jacks to every red jack, but hey, it looks kind of nice. You can also get white, blends right in. And of course these Keystone faceplates can also take other things. So if you can put a computer jack here, you can put an F connector, a coax for your TV here, you can put an RJ11 there, you can do all sorts of things and decide on your own, so it gives you a lot of flexibility. Again, this is Jim Gibson with CableSupply.com. Thank you for watching the video. Always appreciate when people watch my videos. Please follow us on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube. Hi, this is Jim with CableSupply.com. Hi, this is Jim from CableSupply.com. Hi, this is Jim with CableSupply.com, and today I'm going to show you how to cut a hole in the drywall.
This is David signing out. You stay classy, Internet.